Okay guys, so today's video, as you would have seen by the title, is you have to be an idiot to actually buy these BMWs now and in the future. So let's get onto it.
Goddamn, get it done, will ya? When I blow up now, everybody's so unusual with it. Shit. But said times in his rhymes, cause his memories. We running through New York, so you know.
Okay guys, so today's video is I want to speak to you guys about the BMWs you should be avoiding now and in the future, because a lot of people are under this belief that every BMW will be a classic, no matter what engine it is, no matter what spec it is. And that is completely wrong. And I'm going to be telling you the ones you should be avoiding and the ones that are not going to go up in price. And this is going to hurt a lot of people. This is going to burst a lot of people's bubble. And this is sure going to, piss a lot of people off because they can't afford anything more and they want to live in hope that their car's going to become wanted or some kind of future classic. But the truth of it is, it's not going to be. So I'm going to go over the BMs you should be avoiding. So the ones you should avoid now and in the future is the BMW E87 with the 116i engine, the 118i and the 120i's. They are fitted with the N42 and N46 engine. Majority of them BMW 1 Series come with a very tatty interior. They're like the lowest spec car you can buy, i.e. cloth seats, manual gearbox, nothing fancy, crappy standard wheels, just your average BMW basically for the average person. There's no high spec of it, no nothing, and it is to be avoided. The M42 and M46 are known to have timing chain problems, valve stem seal problems, valvetronic problems, you name it. It's a 4-cylinder engine made here in the UK, nothing spectacular whatsoever, and it is to be avoided. I would not, and I mean not, and I repeat not, to go and buy that car now or in the future. And that's mainly the reason people actually buy them, and you see a lot of them on the road, especially where I live, for that reason, because they're cheap and very affordable, insurance wise, fueling wise. But what people don't understand, as I've said many times, is they try and avoid the 6-cylinder, but you spend more money on repairs and problems and this and that in the long run on the 4-cylinder because it's more unreliable than the 6-cylinders. So therefore it doesn't work out very economical at all long term. So they should be avoided at all costs. So the next one you should be avoiding now and in the future is the 320i and the 320d. And let's go back to the 120d as well. These all have the N47 engine. You might get lucky and some might have the M47 engine, which is more reliable than the N47, but it's still a 4-cylinder engine. People think it's going to be worth huge amounts of money, and you can get the 520d in the business edition as well as the 320d in the business edition, which just comes fully loaded with all the LCR headlights, the CIC, and very well spec'd. But that was because that's when BMW were trying to force the diesel craze. Them BMWs, if you own it, are not going to be worth nothing now and in the future. Again, they're just your average car for the people to get around, to put around the UK in, economically, cheaply and affordably. They wasn't made to be a classic. They wasn't made to be anything more. A lot of people are hanging on to these in the hope they're going to go up in value. They're very wrongly mistaken. They're not going to go anywhere on price. They never will, and they're never going to increase. The 320i is the same thing. Some of them come with the N43 engine, same as the 1 Series as well, which is the E87. The N43 is a direct injection engine based on that off the 6-cylinder engine and off the N54, which is the N53 engine. It uses direct injection, knock sensor. Again, it has a lot of issues. Now, it comes with a lot of issues and it is an unrepairable engine. The N43 is an absolute nightmare. I've owned it, I've had it, never again. It's not something for me. I'm telling you this based on my experience and what I know, and I can tell you now, the 2-litre engines will never be desirable. I know a lot of people want to think that because a lot of people want the M42 engine, which was found in the 318i's, and they use that engine a lot in the E36 compact and the E36s. but that engine is more desirable. And yes, it's a 3.8, it's a 2-litre engine, 4-cylinder one again, had the same issues, but it's more desirable than the M42 and M46 engine with the Valvetronic, because that engine is just prone to so many failures that people just don't want to spend money because you'll never get it back. The next one I want to speak to a load of you guys about, which never to buy, which a lot of people keep buying, is moving on to the E60 chassis. There's many engines in that a lot of guys decide to go and buy. So let's go on to it, which ones ain't worth it. The first one is the 520i. The 520i is the M54 version, the down-powered version, and all it is the 2.2 they call it, and it's very underpowered, and it's not worth the money or the paper that it's said on. To be fair, it will never be a classic, that one definitely not, because it's M54 engine, it uses the crappy GM gearbox on it as well, I believe, and it's just problematic and nobody wants it. Also, it's got the M54 engine, which isn't desirable anymore. It was desirable at its time, and yes, it's a cracking engine, but definitely not in the 2.2 version, and you mostly get them 520i there. I think they actually stopped making them in 2006. There was no more 520i's. They moved it up to 523i, which would have carried over with the N52 2.3, which would have been the 2.3 version of that, the B23, which had the valve stem seals, which is another one to avoid. That one does burn oil and suck oil, and it's very underpowered. It's not as fast as the B30, and therefore I do recommend not to buy that either. If you're in the market looking for a 5 Series, try and go for the 530s or upwards. Do not try and target the 523, 525, because they are not going to be worth anything. I know I say the M52 is worth money, but when I say M52, people are wanting the B30 engine. There's many differences in the engine internals to make it a 3-litre. It isn't just the 3-stage manifold that makes it a 3-litre at all. There's many differences on the internals, the piston size, the bore size. The internals itself are completely different to your normal B30. Therefore, that engine is not picked, and if you go even on eBay, you'll see nobody buys the 2.5 and the 2.3. I know a lot of you are going to be angry at that because you probably can't get the 3-litre, or you can't get M cars. I know a lot of people in certain countries can't get M cars, and you have to do with what you've got. But in the same sense, those are the engines nobody wants, and you really should be avoiding them engines if you're looking to buy a BMW. The next one I tell everyone to avoid, and I mean everyone, is the E39 and the E53, anything with the M62 engine, which will be fitted in your 4.4s, 4.6 and the 540i's, along with the E38 on the 740i. The M62 is notorious for breaking its timing chain guides. Many of you guys know that the timing chain will come loose and then it won't run right. You'll repair the timing chain, repair the guides, and the car still won't run perfectly thereafter. Even after you change the timing chain, there's many people that have done it, and it's an engine that is more headache than it's worth. To get yourself involved in that, unless you're truly passionate about that engine and you want that engine for some other reason, it's not worth doing it. If you're going to target a V8, I strongly believe to go for the N62. Yes, you have the valve stem seal issue and the coolant pipe issue, but that's about it. And that car's as solid as an ox. You can't really fault the N62 engine. The M62, however, is something I would stay away from. Not only do you have the M62, which is plagued in a timing chain problem, and it's a big job, you also suffer with it being on E39 and E53, which suffers from rust issues because the bodies weren't made out of aluminium back then. That's why them cars feel very solid, like you're shutting a vault door, and they weigh so bloody much because of the way they were built back then compared to now. But yes, the chassis is strong, but the engine is not strong, and these are the BMs I believe need to be avoided. As I said, any 2-litre version on a BM should be avoided at all costs. I know a lot of you can only afford that, but each to their own. I'm not telling you to get rid of it. It may have been reliable to you, it may be good. I'm just saying these are not the BMWs to buy now and in the future, because they're not going to be classics. If you want something you can hold on to that's going to go up on value, no matter how low mileage it is, they will not go up on value. They will never increase on price. If you want something that's going to go up on value, get an M car, get yourself a 330i or a 530i, something that's going to hold its value. Diesels are not going to hold their value either, because the way everything's coming with diesel. So no point trying to hang on to a diesel in the hope it's going to go up in price. It's not going to happen. I know a lot of you are going to sit here trying to say, can you keep your diesel? Is it going to go up in price as well? The answer to that is no, because of all the emission regulations that's going on and what they want to make electric cars. They're trying to get diesel completely abolished from the country and removed. That's why they're offering a scrappage scheme and everything they can to get diesels off the road, even though they're not going to be able to do that. But I don't believe to go and buy another diesel. Therefore, I don't recommend buying a diesel either, because of what's happening in the world today and way manufacturers are going. So those are all the cars I do believe you should avoid buying now and in the future. I hope this is going to clear up a lot of things for you guys, and you're going to know which cars you should be going for and what ones you shouldn't be going for. You would have seen in my previous video the cars you should be buying now and in the future, which are future investments, and I strongly believe they're going to go up on value. I hope this is going to help you guys. Thank you very much for watching this. BMW Dr. Dean here, and goodbye.